Jackson Transportation Service Center Manager, Kelby Wallace. Kelby, welcome back to the show.
Thanks. Good afternoon. Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon and Merry Christmas to you too. Are you ready for Christmas?
I am.
Yeah.
Right. My wife said I'm ready, and she's got everything taken care of, and so we're in good shape.
You've got teenagers?
Just an almost teenager. He's
almost.
12, so yeah, it's not quite as exciting as it was a few years ago, but still fun time to spend with family and friends and relax.
Great. And what about you? Do you have a list that you pass out to your friends and family? What you want?
No, I'm pretty easy. You know, just sometimes the experiences are better than the material stuff. Maybe gift certificates, go out to eat and things. But we draw names at our family, so it's kind of more about hanging out and having dinner. But how about you?
I agree. Experiences, things to do. Our staff gave us Ticketmaster gift certificate, so that's nice. Things to do. Right. So we'll look forward to that. Yeah. Well, so it's construction season off. Not now, right now, nothing happening.
For the most part, out on 94 west of Jackson, we're actually cleaning up a lot of the construction barrels, getting rid of the old temporary signs that have been out there for 2 years. And we're actually installing some of the final permanent signs, but that's going to wrap up by Friday. And anything they've got left wouldn't start up until later in January is the thought out there. So we've kind of got not much going on, but if there's some reasonable weather days, some of that stuff will be going on. And then we've got another big project starting up in the city of Jackson shortly in the new year, kind of like a New Year's present.
Awesome. Well, you guys did a huge project, I'd say a pair of projects with the 2 railroad bridges, and now you're going to come back downtown and work on some more bridges. Yeah, couldn't stay away. So we've got a very, very old bridge on Cooper Street, which is south of the train station, the train tracks on Cooper, and north of the consumers parking structure there, that we will be replacing that entire bridge. Along with the bridge, there's a 20-inch water main that runs through that bridge that we'll be replacing. We've been working with the city to help replace that. I believe that water main is 70, 80, 100 years old, based on some old records. So we're replacing that with our project. So it's going to require closure of that stretch of Cooper, basically kind of until January, until about the end of October next year. All right, here's the brochure that details what you'll be doing. Now the bridge has, from what I can remember, it's got like just pretty much extended curb on both sides. So it's not, maybe there's enough room to walk across it. A simple single person sidewalk. Is that going to be improved?
Yes, yep. So we again kind of worked with the city to take a look at their non-motorized network within the city, and this was a missing piece, as you can imagine there, a bridge that didn't have that on there, but we had a pathway on both sides. So as part of our project, we're going to be putting that non-motorized pathway on the west side of that bridge, widen that out to, I believe, around 10 feet, and that'll connect to that non-motorized pathway that is south of the Grand River. So this bridge crosses the Grand River in Cooper Street in downtown.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy traffic stretch of road too.
Yeah, it's got quite a bit of traffic. We actually coordinated with the city to do the full closure. It'll be the quickest and safest way to build that next year, and we'll kind of use some of the roads that used to be state highways. If folks remember that 6 years ago, when Washington Avenue used to be a part of the business loop, that'll be part of our detour. So we'll detour traffic down Washington to Louis Glick, back to Cooper Street, and then for folks headed southbound, it would be the opposite. They'd use Louis Glick to Washington back to Cooper to kind of go around it. Now, we expect local traffic to maybe use MLK or Jackson Street, but we want our trucks and other through traffic to follow that detour.
Will that intersection change at all? When we're looking at just north of the bridge, you've got the railroad tracks, Michigan Avenue, Glick, and then the little turns, and it's
It won't change. We will have a controlled pedestrian crossing there on the south edge of that intersection to help pedestrians get to that pathway we were just talking about. So they'll be able to cross Cooper Street in a controlled environment now with the project. But the actual layout of that Cooper intersection and Michigan Ave that you're talking about was
there's nothing.
It's very difficult
Yeah.
with unless we could find a way to eliminate either the train tracks or one of the crossroads. It's just very complex, and thus the traffic signals have to be very precise to allow certain movements to go at a time, and they also have to be ready to turn completely red when a train's coming to make sure everything's safe. So it is quite a complex intersection, and thus sometimes takes a little bit of time to get through there.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything, everyone's looked at it and it is what it is, but the one thing that a lot of people have hoped for is a way to get from, like, physically walking from the train station to downtown, and
That'll be part of our project, yeah. We'll have a sidewalk and a pathway, and then a actual protected phase to cross Cooper there, so that will be a great non-motorized benefit.
That will be nice. All right, that's bridge number 1.
Yes.
You've got a second bridge.
Yeah, so just to make sure everybody's straight, that Cooper Street Bridge is 2025. Mm-hmm. And so in 2026, as part of the same project, we will be doing the bridge on Lewis Glick, also over the Grand River. That's very near the Grand River Brewery, right there. And you may not even notice that the bridge is there sometimes. Yeah. It's very low profile. But that one isn't a full replacement. We're just taking care of the bridge deck itself, which is the driving surface. The 8 inches of concrete that carries on top of the beams will stay in place. So that one won't take quite as long, and we'll maintain one direction over that bridge at all times. So it won't be quite the traffic impact as the 2025 work is. 2026 work is the Lewis Glick Bridge.
So do you expect the Cooper Street Bridge to be the whole year?
We do. Due to the water main that we mentioned, we also have to carry that water main up underneath the railroad tracks. So we're going to drill that under that without tearing up the tracks. And then the bridge itself, we have to maintain the flow of the river. And we have to be prepared for floods. You know, that river rises tremendously when we get rain, so we have to kind of design that so we don't flood anybody out. So based on doing all that and drilling the foundations, and there's some very shallow rock there. So that's another thing that's going to probably slow that construction down. So we're expecting that to take till about the end of October next year.
You're not going to find coal mines or anything under there, are you?
Not based on any of the records we have and any of the borings, we don't anticipate that.
All right, and then the I-94 project, when that picks up again, the West I-94 project, when will that be completely done, all of 94?
Mid next summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we've got some stuff that's got to wait for warmer temperatures, so they can't start that until later in the spring. We've got trees to plant out there to replace some of the trees we tore down with the project. You don't want to plant those until the spring also. And then we've got to make sure some of that stuff gets established. So, the major work will be done next summer, and there'll be some few loose ends next fall, but nobody will even kind of realize what's going on out there. Will be done substantially. So
great. Well, we'll look forward to all the improvements planned for our area. Thanks for coming in today.
Great. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Kelby Wallace from MDOC. Next, we'll select